But you get the drift. So,
and you will investigate guns after a crime is committed. You will not go harass old ladies.
You make them follow a published list of procedures, which they don't do. They don't publish. And so they keep changing from one trial to the next as to what was the determining factor, blah, blah, blah. None of these funds can be used for that. And so the trick would be, don't do it the way Newt Gingrich did back in 95, where you play chicken with the whole federal government budget. Now, some of us probably wouldn't mind if it all went down, but you don't say, okay, we're just not going to raise the debt limit, and that means you have to shut the government down. Well, politically, that just isn't going to fly. But you can, if you get to work right away, you could send a budget for the Treasury Department with the amputations in there that you want for BATF. Well, actually, they're under Justice now, excuse me. But a Justice Department budget chopped up here, there, but, leaving it essentially intact, just a lot of fingers and arms and legs missing. He can either veto it himself, in which case the ball's in his court, and who cares if the Justice Department gets shut down, or he'll accept the amputations.
The problem is the BATF will just go firebomb another church to scare everybody into giving them funds.
Well, you can only have one Waco at a time, and as a lot of folks have said, probably won't be for free the next time either. And what's happening at the state level is also encouraging. The governor of Virginia, he's right of center, but he's no fighter. First thing he did when he got elected was say, DOA if socialized medicine passes in Washington, not in my state.
And now we've got first 14 and then 18 state attorney generals saying this is not just weights and measures. It's unconstitutional because of the socialism.
Absolutely.
But you can't selectively enforce certain rules on certain states. This thing is dead even if they pass it, and it looks like they may not even get that done. Larry Pratt, up there on Capitol Hill, I want to get your final take on that when we come back.
If you owe money to the IRS, you can't make the problem go away by yourself. But with the help of Dan Pilla, you can get your problem solved once and for all.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. For 30 years, I've helped thousands of people solve their tax debt problem, and I can help you solve yours too. We take a very simple but proven 3-step approach to solving your problem. First, we stabilize IRS collection actions so you don't have to worry about the IRS seizing your bank account or paycheck. Next, we build a comprehensive plan to get your tax debt reduced to the fullest extent possible, sometimes even completely eliminated. And finally, we work with you every step of the way to get your problem solved once and for all. Call us for a free consultation. Call 1-800-346-6829. We'll work together to get your problem solved, guaranteed.
Dan Pilla has been protecting taxpayers from the IRS for 3 decades, and he can help you too. Call us today at 800-346-6829. That's 800-34-NO-TAX.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Attention, an important product from HempUSA.org, microplant powder, will change your life by removing all types of positive toxins, such as heavy metals, parasites, bacteria, viruses, and fungus from the digestive tract and stomach wall so you can absorb nutrients. Microplant powder is 89% silica and packed with a negative charge that attracts positive toxins from the blood, organs, spine, and brain. This product has the ability to rebuild cartilage and bone, which allows synovial fluid to return to the the joints. Silica is a precursor to calcium, meaning the body turns silica into calcium and is great for the heart. There is no better time than now to have microplant powder on your shelf or in your storage shelter. And with an unlimited shelf life, you can store it anywhere. Call 908-691-2608 or visit hempusa.org. It's a great way to change your life. So call 908-691-2608 or visit us at hempusa.org today.
Folks, everything the government scammers and the offshore banks touch turns to dust. They've got the power, but they're destroying themselves in the process. It's kind of like you got a pickup truck driving through a boulder field. You might make it to the other side, but your car is going to be totaled by the other end. Look at this Infowars.com article from Steve Watson. We'll be covering this at the start of the show tomorrow. International hearings begin on falsified swine flu pandemic by the EU, proving it was all a fraud to make money and a dangerous vaccine. Greatest medical scandal of the century to come under scrutiny. That's a quote by the head of the EU group. Here's another one. Ron Paul used Geithner to impeach Obama. Like I said with Ron Paul a week ago on air, use this to bring them all down. Ron Paul's coming out. I mean, folks, like Ceausescu or any of these thugs falling, America is mad. And the media tries to not let you know how awake people are. But they are awake. And the Republicans and Democrats can't scam us anymore with this bait and switch. With whatever party's out of power acts like they're populist and constitutionalist till they get in power. I'm telling you, if you get the word out and fight hard, we've got a 70% chance of beating these people. Larry Pratt, do you agree with that statement?
I do, Alex. And right now, even with the lousy set of cards we have in the Congress, this socialized medical push does not have to happen. There's enough of those stew-pack Democrats, to use a term, the pro-lifers that are insisting on their language that's in the House version that is not in the Senate version, that the option of just accepting the Senate version is not all that likely in the House. They just are, and they're less likely to get turned. And a lot of times, let's face it, a blue dog is simply a liberal Democrat that hasn't voted yet. But
this is another hoax, because you will be assimilated. No way to stop us.
No, yeah, we're not. You can't win. We win. You lose. This is inevitable. It's going to happen soon. Well, it's going to be happening soon since what? Last February? It obviously is a mantra. Doesn't mean it's true. So I don't see it coming through the House. If the House agrees to something that might be acceptable to the Senate, when it comes back to the Senate for their actual approval, it comes back in the form parliamentarily as a new bill, and all of the possibilities for filibuster are waiting for it all over again.
And they've already had a mass exodus. The Democratic Party's bleeding out. A lot of them want this to end and fail so they can move on. They know people are going to remember in a few months, come election time, if this passes, they are all politically dead.
We could possibly find a senator who would join with the Republicans, even without Brown being seated in the Senate, to say, hey, wait a minute, I know this is an important issue for our party, but I'm not interested in being a kamikaze pilot. I'm taking the next boat back to Japan.
Well, we're going to find out tomorrow if Brown wins. We've got to pray for that. As the founder said, we need gridlock in Washington, not the skids greased, especially right now with Obama, who I've got to say is now officially the worst president in U.S. history. I thought Bush or Clinton might have been that, but I mean, there's no doubt this guy is an absolute authoritarian, an absolute anti-American, absolutely dangerous. I agree with Michael Savage. He may stage terror attacks. He may do anything. We've got to stop him. In closing, Larry Pratt, Gun Owners of America, more than ever, needs people's support. Gunowners.org. Tell folks how to support.
Yep, gunowners.org. You can become a member there, and if you just want to find out what we're doing, go to gunowners.org, sign up for our email alerts, and that'll keep you posted on what's happening and what you can do to fight them in Washington.
Larry Pratt, great job. God bless you. Have a great new year in 2010.
Same to you.
Take care. Well, the transmission is over. Great job to the crew. Tomorrow, we're going to be taking more of your calls. Got some big guests. We'll have the aftermath of the Massachusetts election, what's happening with government takeover of health care, and the big swine flu scam being exposed In closing, I want to thank our sponsor of the day, EcoloBlue.com, the high-quality atmospheric water generator that produces 7 to 8 gallons a day right out of the air. They got some big discounts and specials going right now. This is water that's never been down a sewer line or anything else. Absolutely awesome. EcoloBlue.com.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.